the first practice session of the weekend. We were the fastest under our tent, and I thought the momentum would just continue from there. But as racing often does, it can humble you from time to time. And so, ever since that first practice session, we had to start learning things about the series. So.
We went into the weekend with a lot of enthusiasm. Our practices went well. We got into qualifying on Saturday. After a couple of flyer laps, we had a full course red. We came into the pits. Andy radioed into me and told me that I was sitting in P1 by a healthy margin. We sat there and waited. The team did an inspection of the car, and unfortunately they found a mechanical. So I was put on mechanical hold, and as I watched the clock tick down, I was just hoping that it would expire and nobody would have a chance to get out and clip me. Unfortunately, with about 3 minutes remaining, they sent the cars back out, and I got clipped by 4 or 5 cars. At that point, we did a driver change. Andy got in to run for his qualifier session.
My qualifying session went pretty well, thankfully. We were able to get on the front row.
The Saturday race started out for me, I started out in the car. I settled in once the pack kind of stretched itself out and was focusing on my lines. I was chasing down Paul Nemshoff. I made some critical mistakes that cost me momentum. We had the second fastest driver change during our pit stop out of the entire 33-car grid. Andy got in, started chopping wood, got us up into P4. He was chasing down P3.
We were kind of in the running. We were holding our own and had a shot at that podium position all the way up to the last lap. And I saw an opening on the outside, and I went for it, and just wasn't enough space for everybody. And
one guy went very, very defensive, which caused another guy to jump the yellow turtle and slam into the side of Andy and send him off into the kitty litter in turn 6. In all that dust, Andy got hit again and spun. So, that set us back.
Thankfully, gratefully, we were able to get the car across the finish line despite it being kind of damaged and score some points.
This is my second season with Flying Lizard Motorsports, and they continue to prove that they are a superior team. The way they work together, the way they solve problems. After the accident with Andy, the car came back into our garages. They had it torn down, put back together, and on the ground and running within about 3.5, 4 hours. They had to borrow bag and steel parts, but we were ready to go for the grid on Sunday. Sunday's race, it was delayed heavily. We had a significant fog layer just sitting on the track. You couldn't see across the pits. You're watching the fog just move right in front of your face. And I believe we were delayed about an hour and a half.
The first stint went kind of mistake-free, kind of just clipped away. Me and our teammate Mark Miller just kind of seemed like we set the same lap time pretty much our entire stint. I was excited to hand the car over to Slade, and we got into the pit lane for our driver change, and again, just some of the teething issues we're going to run into being our first year in this class. We just had some mistakes in the driver exchange and our pit stop, and kind of set us back.
5.7, so number 14 car into the pit lane. Andy Lee gets out, and Slade Stewart, last year's LB Cup champion, is in.
I got out on track and started to get settled in the car and ready to go to work. It's about 3 or 4 laps in, flying down into turn 2, and a non-class car behind me got greedy in the turn.
He got knocked off track. There's a long wait for that tow truck to come yank us out.
I also discovered that the ABS on the car had now faulted out for some reason, so I had no ABS. Quickly flying into the screw, both front tires locked up, smoke was billowing everywhere. I returned to the car with a very fine set of Barney Rubblestone, Fred Flintstone style tires. They were pretty square.
Unfortunately, and put us a lap down and kind of sealed our fate for race 2.
Laguna didn't go the way we wanted. We've got a lot of takeaways from it, and we are definitely excited going into Watkins Glen.